All right, back at you from the Music City Drum Show. And look who's with me, William F. Ludwig III.
How you doing, everybody?
Well, I feel like I'm announcing royalty with that name.
Thank you.
And I like to say, and we just did an interview recently. It's on one of my Drummer Nations that's up.
Right.
And I sent it out on my newsletter, and I said, this Ludwig still makes drums.
I love it. Thank you very much. And I am the only Ludwig in the drum business.
Now, we've talked, if you want to look up the interview we did, I don't want to cover that ground again. He was very generous with his time. He goes back to his grandfather and his father, and long history of the great legacy of Ludwig drums. But what are you doing now, Bill?
Well, I've started WFL3 Drum Company. Drums, I mean. I'm sorry, not drum company. 9 years ago. It'll be 10 years next spring, which I can't believe. I look back at 10 years ago. I was working an office job that I didn't like, and one thing led to another, and all of a sudden I started making drums again. And I always say to people, you know, what a concept, a Ludwig making drums.
Who'd have thunk it?
I know, exactly.
Well, you're making great drums, too.
Thank you very much.
And they're unique to you, right? You're not just,
no,
this isn't an assembly line of parts from everywhere else.
No, it's a proprietary shell made by Nordic Drum Shell Company to my specs, and it's the thinnest 6-ply on the market, so it's extremely resonant. People play them and go, oh, the classic sound, you know, which is what I love hearing. They're real live, great tone, and I even have a lot of sound men coming up and thanking me when I go see an artist at a concert, and I say, for what? They said, well, we got sound check done in 5 minutes, and so that's good news if you can make the sound man happy.
Absolutely, and you also, I think you're a big sound in Nashville too. That Ludwig sound that's you captured today and have updated has always been a great fit in this city.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. That's why, you know, I do enjoy coming to the Nashville Drum Show, because I get to spend time in town and hit some of the studios, see old friends, and we've got quite a good endorser base here also.
Now, do you play as well?
Oh, yes, since I was 6 years old.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I think everybody in the business plays.
Right. Well, I started because Dad was good friends with Joe Morello, who would always come to the house when he played Chicago. And I, as a little kid, I would always say, oh, Joe, go play the drums in the basement, and I'd watch him. And I'd try to play around on him, and Dad finally said, if you want to play drums, you have to take lessons. And I said, great, sign me up. So 6 years old, I had a teacher come over and start giving me lessons on the practice pad. Mm-hmm. And I said, but I want to play the drum set in the basement. And he said, not for a year. And I said, well, wait a minute. That's not what I had in mind. But I learned the rudiments.
The way you started drummers out. My dad did the same thing. Here's a snare drum, but get through this.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about some drums.
Exactly.
It's not a bad way to go.
No. And you have to learn the basics and proper hand positioning and stick control, and gradually get into playing on the drum set once you've mastered the practice pad.
Now, your operations are in Chicago?
Actually, no. Their factory is in outside of Kansas City.
That's right.
In a town called Lenexa. I live outside of Chicago because I'm basically doing sales, conventions, things on the road. I go to the factory once a month, but I have a great staff down there, cranking out the drums to very high quality standards.
Beautiful drums, man.
And they're all drummers, so
yeah, that helps.
Can't go wrong with that.
You deal with dealers? Is that I think you have a hybrid delivery, right? Dealer or through you guys?
I have some dealers. I'm trying to grow the dealer list. We just signed up right before this show, Atlanta Drum Shop, which isn't open yet. It'll be opening in September.
That's my hometown. I'll be there for the.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's where I live.
And
my hometown is where I live.
And it's great because they're going to fill a void. There's no drum shop there. If I heard
that's
correctly.
Correct. Ed Hamrick had one called Atlanta Pro Percussion.
Yeah,
he was a dear friend to all of us. He passed recently, and the shop is closed.
Yeah,
so
I worked
without a drum shop.
I worked with Ed for decades and did clinics there, and he was great. But in Chicago, there's no drum shop.
That's amazing.
Which just crushes me. But
that was one of the first drum shops in the country in Chicago.
Well, Frank's Drum Shop, and then Drums Limited opened also.
Back when there were very few drum shops.
Exactly, yeah. So that's exciting, though, to get back into Atlanta and get, because that's a great market for music.
Well, I'll have to get you down there.
Yeah, I'll be there for the grand opening.
All right. Oh, you will? Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
I'm going to cover that, too. We'll be there for that.
Good. Cool.
So you're not through with me yet.
Okay.
All right, Bill. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, just thanks for your support, and hope everybody will check out my website at WFL3drums.com.
Is it the number 3 or 3 I's or what?
3 I's. I.
WFL.
I. Drums.com. Plural.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Check them out.
Business with a better guy.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Good
Thank you. Take care.